We're 6 days out from leaving Jervis Bay for 6-8 months, potentially longer. Who knows? Depends on how long Janet will put up with me. But I'm onto the last minute jobs, and we've had a priority list. We've been working through them methodically. Well, not so methodically, it's just whatever takes my fancy, which is the way I tend to work. But we're getting stuff done, and we're almost there. Yesterday we bought a new fridge for the back compartment, which is taking the pressure off me having to get the big freezer working. I'm pretty happy about that. So often you'll find a cheap solution to save you having to do a day's work, and I've done that. Janet talked me into buying a fridge, and now we've got a fridge freezer in the back compartment in that back hatch. One very important job we have to do, we've got a life raft that we've been sitting on for a year or so, and we have a compartment in the back of the boat here that will take the life raft, but we've got to have some way of securing it and also some way of being able to eject it out into the water should we need to. That's going to involve a series of straps, and what I'm doing here is I'm actually doubling over some diver's weight belt and putting a hole in it with a soldering iron so that it doesn't fray. Very important you do that when you're working with this stuff. It's always good to burn a hole with a soldering iron rather than just try to drill a hole. Drilling a hole in this stuff, often it'll bind on the drill bit and you'll end up in all sorts of trouble where the thing tries to hang you. So you just drill a hole with the soldering iron, hit it with a pair of pliers, and that seals the hole, stops it from fraying. I'll get a cigarette lighter and just burn the end here, or a burner. And then this will be placed in the compartment down here and wrap around the back of the life raft, and then you'll be able to pull it like that and yank the life raft out into the water. So down in here we should be able to just simply reach here, grab two straps that'll be mounted here somewhere, and just yank them and pull it out. Obviously I'm going to have a front mounted here and around the back of the life raft and up here somewhere where it'll be mounted with a handle on it, and there'll be two of those, and you'll be able to grab each of those and go pop and pop the life raft out into it. Now the other thing I'm going to have to do is put one around this way as well to secure it in place, to hold it. This compartment wasn't in the original design, but I actually made it here because I thought if the boat ever goes over or we need to use a life raft, this will be at water level and be very easy to pull out, whereas all the ones that are sitting on deck and on the roof, they're under the water. Once the life raft inflates, it's stuck and you can't get to it. So I like this idea. This one will go like this, and you'll be able to just undo a quick weight belt buckle, chuck that in the water, and then the other one, just to simply pull this, it'll be mounted there. It'll just pop it out like a giant Pez dispenser. I hope that's the plan, and I think it'll work. It'll work.
Cannot believe the clarity of the water at the moment. And this is an outgoing tide. Sadly, in some respects, it's a reflection of no rain and the forecast for some fairly severe droughts in Queensland, which is going to affect crops, cattle, whatever, which is very sad. But I guess one of the positives for us is we get beautiful, clear water.
So with this weight belt, I'm actually doubling it over as well to make it a lot stronger as well, and there'll be giant washers on here. I just use the soldering iron just to seal the end. We do have a hot knife, which I could have probably done it with.
Which is what I was just thinking about and why we aren't using it.
But no, this is working just as well. And
yeah, fair enough.
That's cool, that'll work. Yep. Trying to work out the orientation of the quick release. Whether we pull it up or we pull it, no, we need to pull it up, so it needs to come up that way. That's right.
Because one of the other things we're concerned about is if we had it pulling down, someone on a stand or a kayak could wander past and go, oh, what's this for? And pull it. And if we say do not pull, then they're bound to pull it.
I've mounted a short tab here. I've had to drill a hole in here to be able to access the bolt, but that's now solid there. This will hold around the outside of the life raft. Simple weight belt. Just means to pull a life belt, all you need to do is do that and go yank.
So we're going to have a safety catch on that one for while we're not, or something.
I don't know. Yeah,
so
well,
it's not accidentally, you know, like a 2-stage thing as opposed to just the one.
well, I don't know yet. We'll work on that. Probably.
I think we should.
I mean, at least I've got it.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
This one here I'm going to fold over, and I'm going to burn these together and just put a piece of Dyneema loop through it to make a handle just to be able to reef it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure how we can't stitch that, can we? We could probably stitch it once we get your new sewing machine.
But it's going to be attached, so you won't be able to. You need to figure something out.
I'll undo it. You'll be able to do it here.
This guy is going to get smashed in a minute because I am so sick of him creating jobs for me.
Our spare rudder has made it on board, and I have to do a quick modification to it or an addition to it just to make it usable in the event we either hit something and break a rudder, or we break a rudder or lose a rudder. Don't anticipate doing that, but who knows? You just don't know. There are hundreds of humpbacks already working their way up the coast here. We do not want to hit a whale, but if we did, we want to be able to replace at least one of the rudders. And I'm working on the emergency tiller. I've been working on it at home, and I have to do a little bit more welding day after tomorrow, or the day tomorrow, or the day after. But for now, I've got 2 aluminium sleeves here. These sleeves, when I originally ordered the rudder bearings from Zephyr, I got some anodised aluminium sleeves. Now these, remembering this is our spare rudder, these are just standard aluminium, but I'm actually going to epoxy them in place where they need to be, which is just directly below where they are now. I've had to split them because the internal diameter of this isn't exactly the same as our carbon tube, but a simple split and some epoxy will fix that, and then I'll basically have a spare rudder. This isn't the extended version like the other ones were. When you make a third rudder, you should actually make sure it's the same as your other ones. Well, it was the same until I extended the other ones. But anyway, we're leaving tomorrow. We're leaving our mooring tomorrow. We're going to go up to the wharf and fill it with water and do a few jobs, install our life raft. And good job we didn't go today, because we got some pretty serious northerly winds, and that would have been a headwind beat all the way to Sydney with our motors on, and we're really glad we didn't do that. Entertaining that idea just wasn't in my field of vision. We've just got a forecast for Thursday. It's Sunday Arvo now, so Thursday morning very early we're going to head off, and Windy's telling us we're going to have some light to moderate westerly winds. It's a sort of ideal, which would give us a beam reach all the way to Sydney. Sam's coming down on Wednesday, and he's been asked if he'd like to accompany us, and he was actually really positive, and we're stoked to hear that he's coming up with us. So that'll be brilliant. Janet will pick him up from the railway station and bring him out to the boat, and we'll head off at around about 1 o'clock on Wednesday out to the furthest part of Jervis Bay, which is about 10 miles away, and then we'll be able to head straight out of the heads first thing in the morning and head up the coast towards Sydney, and we'll get rid of him when we get to Cronulla, where he lives. Okay, well, they're now glued in place. So both of these sleeves actually act as bushes between the bearing and the rudder shaft, also reinforcing the shaft. So not only have we got this 6mm carbon shaft, which is laid up especially for being a rudder, I've actually beefed it up by putting another 3mm of aluminium sleeve on it. Although it is split, it should still fit. I may have to polish them down a little bit to make sure they do fit the bearings, but I'm sure it'll be fine. That's actually a job I've been meaning to do for a very long time. A little bit of woodwork going on over here. Just repairing a hatch rim that I made. And Janet's got the hot water on because they're staying the night on board, because we're moving the boat first thing in the morning. She's got the hot water on, got the engines running, or the engine running, and we're boosting our power as well as heating up our hot water. Bloody excited about that. That is one of the best things, being able to heat your hot water off the heat exchanger in the engine. So stoked to have that idea and that sort of facility. So that means that whenever we run the engine, we're actually charging the batteries as well as heating up the hot water for a hot shower. Not long hot showers on this boat because we haven't got a lot of water storage, and one of our first purchases as we get going will be a water maker. We're going to have to get that installed probably in the next month or so, because we're struggling to come up with the concept of being able to provide enough fresh water to enjoy ourselves and have a nice shower. I mean, we're swimming every day. I've got to get in the water first thing in the morning and give this hull a clean before we move the boat. I was going to do it today, but it's just a shit day. It's just horrible, and the water now is absolutely putrid. and I've got a bit of a slice on my leg, and I'm not like, we had dolphins swim past about an hour ago. I'm not really that keen on going in the water at the moment with a big cut on my leg. I'll put a wetty on in the morning, and hopefully that will hide the blood, because who knows what's in the water, and I do not want to be cleaning the hull with a big slash on my leg from the bloody solar panels. So the boat is pretty clean. I gave it a good clean a couple of weeks ago with my scuba gear on, but who knows what has formed since then. We've probably got quite a few barnacles on, and I know there's some mollusky sort of growth on the bottom, so I'm going to give it a scrape first thing in the morning. That'll be a good hour-long job. And then we'll move it up to the wharf. Now I've also got the life raft straps all ready there to go in place, so that's good. I'll put in some U-bolts here. I'm about to reinforce the davits. I'm going to tie them back with a Dyneema strap and some sort of a turnbuckle arrangement. I imagine that's what I'm planning to do. I'll put probably a low friction ring on it or something, and just tether it back with some Dyneema. It's just to beef the whole thing up. Might need to do a little bit of sheathing of those holes there. God knows how I'm going to get it through those holes. But anyway, that's what they're there for, and also to tie off a life raft. So pretty busy day today. We've been having stuff picked up that we've sold because we're moving on, and everything at the house is all squared away. And the good thing is I can get our folding boat trailer for the tender can be put away tomorrow in our garage, and then the car will go in on Tuesday. Oh, this wind. I'm so glad we didn't go today. It's been absolutely pumping today. It'd be just gnarly out there at the moment, and I've got at least 30 knots blowing on me right now. But yeah, the whole thing's starting to look pretty bloody nice. We've made it to the dock with what we thought was going to be a few days to go, but looks like the weather window's closing in. We've got a big cold front coming, so we're up at the dock. Janet and I are here. I've just done some running around in town to get the tender registered and get some other parts and bits and pieces I needed. And we've got all of our servicing gear here, our oil and fuel filters and everything. Nice day now, isn't it? It was horrible this morning. Beautiful. And the other thing we have here is our life raft. And I brought it down on a stool because it's the only trolley we own now. And we're going to get that on board. That's going to go up to the end of the wharf there and into the tender, and then we'll lift it with the davits. So yeah, closing in on the end of all the organising, and it's a stunning afternoon. It's just absolutely beautiful, given it was pretty horrendous this morning when I left.
Ross left out the bungs, so once he puts it in the water he has to bail it out.
We can't reach it.
So now we're going to go over to here to pick up the life raft to then bring it back.
Wheel me over, baby. Take me to the river.
Oh, hang on, don't fall in.
All right. That'll do.
Bossy bugger.
It's going to be fun cruising together, isn't it?
Oh, it's just he's going to tell me how to suck eggs all the time.
I had to go into town this morning and find a justice of the peace to sign that I'd actually built the tender so that I can get it registered. And I was telling her all about our life on the hulls, and she was wondering if we were going to survive it.
Possibly not.
Okay, that wasn't so
No.
bad until I ran over my toe. Okay, we'll go back over there now. Ooh, fuck. It's spinning over. Right, we need the other one. Shit. Alright, keep going.
Do we want a rope
No,
around the middle of it?
keep going. No, keep going. Right, this one. Can you do it or not? Just don't fall on my feet. Hang on, let me sit on the side of the boat. Keep going.
Which end? This end?
Yep, bit more. Bit more. Ooh. Okay. A little bit more. Right, and a little bit more on this one. You alright? great job. Right, hang on. Let me... That's going to be the problem.
Oh, it's having it loose
It
enough.
needs to be
We
looser.
need to actually pull the boat towards our wheels.
Yeah, I can't. No, this has got to be looser.
Which side do you want to drop?
Yeah, this side. I'll just drop it a bit. Drop it. We'll get it onto the side of the boat. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Stop there. Keep going a little bit more. Alright, the problem is I'm going to lift it and then it's pushing me backwards, so we've had to tether the boat back to make sure that it's not going to move.
Is that tight enough to stop it moving, or do you need it tighter?
No, I think it's perfect.
Put it back down. No, the davits are stuck.
Oh, that's in.
The davits are stuck in it, huh?
Pull that.
You sure?
Yeah, pull the pin.
Put that on the boat.
Hold the boat. That's good. Well, that's cool. So it was about 4 years ago I put that life raft pocket in. It's taken us that long to fit the bloody thing.
Oh, you forgot
We've
to
only had it for
do
2
this.
years.
I'll just move
That's
it
brilliant.
from where it
Okay,
is.
major. I've got a few jobs done, which has been nice to do some work while we're at the dock. It's much easier at the dock than down on the mooring, but Janet's just been away. She had a dental appointment this morning, but she's just done what looks like a year of shopping. So we've got so much food. She's basically loaded up, and obviously we need to think about what we can store now. Obviously we have our new freezer, and it's been such a nice thing to be able to plan for some food long term rather than going week by week. Actually, we've had very little wastage. In fact, I reckon our consumption has been about 50% of what we normally used to go through, and that just comes down to Janet's good planning. But there's plenty of food on board now. There's probably half a ton of bloody food on board. That should last us the rest of the year, I'd imagine. And while Janet has been shopping, I've been sorting out our gunnel rail caps. I've got more food here on the dock. But what is nice is that I've actually got the gunnel cap on here, our end cap that I made. They just need a quick buff. I've just sikaflexed them there. I still have to fill in the gaps, but that has just finished that rail. I'm really happy with how that's gone. And down on this end, I've got it all ready and masked. It's just a little bit awkward here because every time I lean over, the boat moves out, and that's all masked up ready. I'm just waiting for the epoxy to set up the other side of the boat. I was in the tender on there earlier on, and I've actually just masked it up so I can get the Sikaflex line on there this afternoon, and that'll set this afternoon in this heat. It's around 28 degrees today. It's an absolutely stunning day, and just the most beautiful afternoon, and we're waiting for a big westerly change. It's coming through tomorrow afternoon or even the next day, which was in fact the day we were supposed to be leaving, but we're not leaving. We're going to hang around for another 4 or 5 days and just nail all the big jobs that I've still got to do, which is not many really. I've just got to go through the steering system. The engines are all ready to go, and a couple of things on the tender, and we're pretty much ready to bolt. 12 months ago I was a bit paranoid about our steering, and obviously we've been driving around for 12 months with virtually no steering problems. We have got a couple of little weepy connections on our steering system, which is all crimped and flanged copper, but I made an emergency tiller, and I then took the rudders off, and then I filled the rudder shaft so it didn't get full of salt water when I put the rudders back in. I filled it with epoxy to obviously stop the water getting in, but as a result I've made the emergency tiller not work. It had a bolt through the shaft where the tiller interlocked into it, and now I've actually filled right up under that bolt, so it's virtually unworkable now. So I've got to come up with a better solution. So I've actually come up with this, and I've been working on the tiller. I've actually covered it and cleaned it up and got all the rust off it because it's made of gal steel. Probably should have made it a stainless, but you know, I didn't get around to that. It was one of those last minute jobs I had. But I've covered it in heat shrink now, and I've painted the actual join where the brace is. So I've just got the skipper to turn the tiller for me, just to prove that it actually does work. Righto, give us a go. Yeah, look at that. Keep going all the way. Yep, go the other way. And you'll be in a relatively safe position there inside the new lifelines that I've made. So that bracket, if that's sort of the shape of that template there, I'll go and weld that up this afternoon. If I just put a bolt through it and that bracket encases the tiller arm, it should work, and that'll be that. And very important that lots of little last minute jobs, and very important we get these done, because I'm going to lose the ability to be able to weld anything. I haven't got a welder on board. I think that'll be a little bit too much to ask to put a welder on board. Although, can I take my welder? No, I'm not allowed to take my welder. Or my plasma cutter, or my chop saws. No one's feeling sorry for me, Janet just said. I'm going to have to duck home to Savo because there's no one in the house this last 3 days. And I've got a couple of days to be able to action a couple of last minute jobs. And this is really, really important because I do want to be able to steer the boat manually should we ever have a failure of our steering system. I'm not sure how long I'd like to stand there, particularly for some bad conditions, and bad conditions is when the bug is going to fail, isn't it? Okay, so the end caps, finally we got them done. I've still got to come back when that sets up. We've just got to do that little gap there, and looking fantastic. So yeah, that's just finished it. I would have liked to have tapered it in and made it sort of pretty unobtrusive, but you know, it's not good enough. It's better than good enough. It's perfect. I'm absolutely wrapped with how that's just finished that, and hopefully no more leaks once I finish this little bit of Sikaflex here. And there's a centre over here where it's joined. I just need to do a little bead of white in there. It'd be nice if I could do some silver, but anyway, we can't. I've got to actually polish that. Don't know what that was. I think it was an adhesive sticker or a decal or something that made a bit of a mess. Moved our life raft over, or our life ring. We've moved it over here. I'm going to put our logo on it, our name on it, and I've got a John Boy. We've actually purchased a couple of John Boys, which are a man overboard device, and they're inside, or one of them is inside. We're going to take one with us on this trip, and we'll probably install the other one if we head offshore, even more so. Fantastic. Janet's cooking show has begun. We're not doing cooking shows, are we?
Do you know what the guy at the checkout said?
What?
Well, I said, God, I need a bank loan to pay for this. And he turned around and said, that's why you don't eat healthily.
Oh yeah, good point.
But we do.
It's cheaper to actually eat bad food, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we do eat healthily. Just a touch too much, I think.
Well, you know.
I know.
That's your choice, not
Well,
mine.
apparently I didn't have a gut when I was a young diver when Janet met me, and apparently I do have one. She's never going to live saying that down, are you?
When did I say that?
Last week's video. Didn't have a gut when he was a young diver. Yeah, thanks very much. I'll go off you.